Greetings everyone, I'm Guan in Paris, France, where the French President Emmanuel Macron is rolling out the red carpet for the visiting Chinese President Xi Jinping. Now it's worth noting that this is President Xi's first visit to Europe in the past 5 years. The two sides are expected to talk about a whole range of issues, from the situation in Ukraine, the situation in Gaza, bilateral trade and investment, climate change cooperation, and of course the question of Taiwan. Now, China-France interactions are considered a prototype, a model relations by many scholars among China's interactions with the West. And that notion is certainly true if you look at the patterns, the history of bilateral ties. As early as 1964, France became one of the very, very few Western countries to recognize People's Republic of China, to recognize the government led by Chairman Mao Zedong over the dissident minority regime on the island of Taiwan as the sole legitimate representative of all of China. That was a French decision. That was an independent decision. That was arguably strategic autonomy at its best, although such concept was not quite coined back then. So one should really not be surprised when Emmanuel Macron, during his visit to China last year, said Europe should not be America's followers on the question of Taiwan. Now, what is the overall significance of the summit between President Xi and President Macron? I asked that question to Professor Zhang Weiwei, Dean of China Studies Institute at Fudan University.
In today's world, we see the Ukraine crisis and other crises, Palestinian, Israel, etc. At this kind of world, we need a country like France, like China, to show more independence. So this is a part of the multipolar world, and we have to have more democracy in the international arena. So I think this is important both for Sino-French relationship and also for Sino-European relationship.
Now, bilateral economic and trade relations are another major component of China-France ties. Let's not forget, last year during French President Emmanuel Macron's visit to China, he led some 50 French corporations and signed some 19 deals with his Chinese counterparts, covering a whole range of issues from manufacturing, industries, renewables to education. So this time, hopes are high that the two sides can secure deals that will really improve bilateral economic health and the well-being of people on both sides. There are reports, of course, on deals coming through between Chinese buyers and Airbus. It's reported that negotiations are in the final stretches. We'll see if that will come through. Now, we've been talking to quite a number of French and Chinese scholars. They would actually point out that the power of culture, the power of education in really driving bilateral relations. Let's listen to some of them.
他们非常喜欢中国艺术的，尤其是传统艺术。我来法国，我就把中国艺术随身就带到法国来了啊！他们看了我画展以后就喜欢中国画，我还做了很多那个中国书画讲座，所以他们都开始想跟我学中国书画，我就教他们了。有的学生跟我画了几十年了，而且我很感动。有些法国人像我，有最老的学生现在87岁，他住在外省，他坐火车到我这儿来上课的。
We learned a lot through your speech. Something like 40,000 French students currently actively learning Mandarin. Can you give us, the big picture, the landscape of Chinese learning among the French, especially the youth right now?
It's really an important language. In fact, if you look at the general system, Chinese language is on the 5th rank in language at school, just behind English, German, Spanish, and Italian. Right. So, in fact, it's the first language which is not a European language, which means that a lot of French students, French kids are learning this incredibly rich language from their childhood to their adulthood.
You've heard it right, 40,000 French students currently studying Chinese, and that makes Chinese the largest and also most popular non-European foreign language studied here in France. So hopes are really high that China and France, with their two proud peoples, to ancient civilizations, to important cultures, to important modern-day powers, can really carve out their own path of interactions going forward and inject certainty into this very uncertain world.